Hello dear students, let's discuss the topic General Characters of Aves. This topic is a part of Animal Diversity 2 Biology of Chordates, Unit 4. I am Dr. E. Harini, Senior Grade Lecturer and HOD, Department of Zoology, St. Joseph's College for Women Autonomous, Visakhapatnam. The contents are Introduction, General Characters, External Features, exoskeleton and various anatomical features. The learning outcomes are identify and explain the distinguishing characteristics of birds, including feathers, beaks, and adaptations for flight. Illustrate the structure of the bird's skeletal and respiratory systems and explain how they are adapted for flight. Explain the significance of adaptations such as migratory behavior, nest building, and specialized beaks and claws for survival in different environments. Aves are known as birds. They are a group of endothermic vertebrates characterized by feathers, toothless beaked jaws, the laying of hard-shelled eggs, high metabolic rate, four-chambered heart, and a strong, lightweight skeleton. Now coming to the endothermic vertebrates. Endothermic vertebrates are those organisms which are able to maintain a steady body temperature. Endotherms are also called warm-blooded organisms as their body temperature will not fluctuate with the seasonal temperature changes. Thus all endotherms are also homeothermic. Their metabolic rate is high and metabolism is well regulated so that they generate more heat when the environment becomes cold. They are also able to conserve the heat and prevent overheating. Coming to the classification of aves. Aves belongs to the phylum Chordata, subphylum Vertebrata, group Gnathostomata, and the class Aves. There are nearly estimated 9,000 species of aves present in the animal kingdom. As we have discussed a small note on the introduction, let's move forward. Birds or aves are highly evolved vertebrates. In the Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era, the birds first appeared. They evolved from the ornithischian dinosaurs of the reptilian group. In the Cretaceous period, the birds became modernized. Birds are bipedal vertebrates. The forelimbs are modified into wings. Their body is covered by feathers. The hind limbs are strong and they're useful to walk on land. All these characters taking into the consideration the classification of birds. Birds are adapted for aerial mode of life, hence the body shows many modifications for the aerial mode of life. The science which deals with the study of birds is called ornithology. The branch of science that deals with the study of birds' eggs is called zoology. The birds and reptiles are grouped together in Sauropsida group. In the present day world, there are nearly 8,590 species of living birds. In this image, you can see the external features of Columba livia, the common rock pigeon. Coming to the general characters of aves. Aves are feather-clad, air-breathing, warm-blooded, oviparous, bipedal flying vertebrates. The body is more or less spindle-shaped and divisible into four distinct regions: the head, neck, trunk, and tail. The jawbones are prolonged into a toothless beak or a bill. The neck is long and flexible and the tail is short and stumpy. The limbs are two pairs. The forelimbs are modified as wings for flying. The hind limbs or legs are large and variously adapted for walking, running, scratching, perching, food capturing, swimming or wading, etc. Each foot usually bears four clawed toes, of which the first one, that is the hallux, is directed backwards. The exoskeleton of the aves is epidermal and horny and is represented by feathers, forming a non-conducting body covering for giving warmth to the birds. The scales on the legs are similar to those of reptiles, the claws on the toes, the sheaths on the beaks. The skin is dry and devoid of glands, except the oil gland or the preen gland at the root of the tail. The ostrich and the parrot lack the oil gland. The beaks in birds are adapted to many ways of feeding: seed crushing, fruit scooping, flesh tearing, nectar sipping, wood chiseling, and so on. The pectoral muscles of flight are well developed. The endoskeleton is fully ossified, light but strong and without epiphysis. The long bones are pneumatic or hollow, filled with air cavities, and they have no marrow. Usually there is a fusion of bones. The skull is smooth and monocondylic, bearing a single occipital condyle, cranium large and dome-like, and the sutures are indistinct. The lower jaw or mandible consists of 5 or 6 bones and articulates with the quadrate. The vertebral column is short. The centra of the vertebrae are heterocoelous. The cervical vertebrae are numerous, bearing small cervical ribs. A synsacrum results by the fusion of the posterior thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and anterior caudal vertebrae. The tail vertebrae are few, they are compressed laterally, and the last 3 or 4 are fused into a plough-shaped bone, the pygostyle. The sternum is large, usually with a midventral keel for attachment of large flight muscles. The ribs are double-headed and bear posteriorly directed uncinate processes. Both the clavicles and single interclavicle are fused to form a V-shaped bone, which is the furcula or the wishbone. The pelvic girdle is large, strong, and fused with the synsacrum throughout its length. The proximal carpels are free. The distal carpels fuse with 3 metacarpals to form the carpometacarpus. The proximal tarsals and tibia are fused to form the tibiotarsus. The distal tarsals fused with the second, third, and fourth metatarsals to form tarsometatarsus, and the first metatarsal remains free. In the digestive system, the esophagus is frequently dilated into a crop for feeding and storage. The stomach is divided into a glandular proventriculus and a muscular gizzard. The junction of the small intestine is marked by a pair of rectal cecae. A large 3-chambered cloaca is present. Coming to the heart is completely 4-chambered. There is neither sinus venosus nor truncus arteriosus. Only the right systemic arch persists in the adults. The renal portal system is vestigial and the red blood corpuscles are nucleated. Birds are the first vertebrates to have warm blood. Body temperature is regulated. The respiratory system in aves is compact, spongy, with the help of non-distensible lungs, and continues with the thin-walled air sacs. The larynx is without vocal cords. The sound box or syrinx producing voice lies near the junction of the trachea and bronchi. The kidneys are metanephric and 3-lobed. The ureters open into the cloaca. The urinary bladder is absent, and the birds are uricotelic. Animals that excrete uric acid in the form of waste are called uricotelic organisms. Uric acid is the least poisonous and the least soluble in water relative to ammonia and urea. Example: birds, snakes, lizards, they are uricotelic. The brain is large but smooth. The cerebrum, cerebellum, and optic lobes are greatly developed, and there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. The olfactory organs are poor. The middle ear contains a single ossicle. The eyes are large and possess nictitating membranes, sclerotic plates, and a vascular pectin. Birds have a keen sense of sight but a poor sense of smell. But kiwi has a good sense of smell. The sexes are separate. Sexual dimorphism is often well marked. The males have a pair of abdominal testes and a pair of sperm ducts. A copulatory organ is absent except in the ratites, ducks, geese, etc. And the female has a single functional left ovary and oviduct. The fertilization is internal, preceded by copulation and courtship, and the females are oviparous. The eggs are large with much yolk and having a hard calcareous shell. The eggs develop by external incubation. The cleavage is discoidal and meroblastic. The development is direct. Extra-embryonic membranes, the amnion, chorion, allantois, and yolk sac are present. The newly hatched young is fully formed, and the parental care is well marked. Coming to the summary, aves are warm-blooded bipedal vertebrate animals adapted primarily for flight. Their bodies are streamlined and covered with feathers which aid in flight and insulation. The forelimbs are modified into wings and the hind limbs are adapted for walking, perching or swimming. They have a beak without teeth. The bones are pneumatic or hollow bones and lightweight skeleton. Birds possess lungs with air sacs for efficient respiration and their heart is four-chambered. They are oviparous, laying shelled eggs and show parental care. Aves also have a well-developed brain, keen eyesight, supporting the complex behaviors and navigation. Thank you for your patient listening.